Cancer, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot, and welcome to your June 2019 monthly tarot forecast. This is for Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, and Cancer Rising signs. So happy birthday to all of you June-born Cancers. I am using the Mystical Manja Tarot. Along with, I also will be pulling you several different oracle cards, first focusing on career. Okay, there's the Chariot, which is one of your cards, Cancer. So very nice. It's also the Ultimate Victory card. It can also indicate travel, so very nice. I will be pulling you a career-focused oracle, a love and relationship-focused oracle, and then a health and well-being oracle card as well. All right, so that's interesting because we have the Five of Wands here, Cancer. So maybe some of you were dealing with competition or little hurdles, little challenges that you had to overcome. But with that Chariot that we just seen, many of you will overcome it. That challenging energy. Wow, Two of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so I want to stick these back in. We'll see if they come back out. Two of Wands. Some of you are maybe making an important decision here with that Chariot and the Two of Wands. But let's see if any of those cards come back out. Cancer for the month of June 2019. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Focusing on the month of June for Cancer. So for some of you, there could be something going on the job front or something with finances. Let's see. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck, Cancer, I have the Nine of Wands. Alright, so let's see. This is the overall energy. So Nine of Wands is someone who's persevering, someone who's not giving up. They're hanging in there. So some of you Cancers that I'm reading for, you could have already went through quite a bit, but you're still standing. You're not giving up. Now, we just had that Four of Pentacles with the Two of Wands that flipped out. So again, maybe a decision is needed for some of you. Sometimes for me, the Four of Pentacles can represent letting go or releasing control, basically kind of surrendering, giving it to God. And so if you've been hanging in there, depending on what this is in regards to, for those of you that it is maybe a relationship matter, if you've been hanging in there, maybe giving something to God, that's not going to be for all of you. This is a very passionate, courageous energy. Underneath the Nine of Wands, I have the Six of Swords, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands. So with the fives here, for some of you, maybe you felt challenged. You could have been dealing with external energies. That can be competition. Underneath this Five of Wands, there was that Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, for some of you, maybe it's on the job front. You might feel a lack. And so again, maybe some of you have an important decision that you have to make in regards to moving forward. Six of Swords, moving on, moving forward, moving towards peace of mind, moving away from these challenges. For some of you that I'm reading for, you're in the process of doing that here in June. Right at the center here, we have Judgment crossed by the Page of Swords. And so Judgment can be you rising up from the ashes, Cancer. And so you could have went through a difficult time on the financial front. This is healing energy that's coming in. So some of you are rising up from a difficult time. Maybe something happened. Something could have happened that maybe hurt your feelings or broke your heart. With the Page of Swords here, can represent news coming in. And with the Page of Swords, it really, you know, it can be like a truth that's being revealed. It can represent someone speaking their truth. And it can be good or bad. So maybe some of you heard something. You could have even received a decision. Some of you could have heard something. And maybe, you know, something didn't go in your favor. Nine of Wands and Page of Swords, something also could be delayed. So those of you that are waiting on news, it, you know, at the start of the month, it might be delayed. If that's the case, try to stay positive. The Page of Swords in this position, for me, he tends to be a little bit of like a worrier. He tends to worry a lot and someone who expects the worst. So try to stay positive. Especially those of you that are waiting on a decision, waiting on news, maybe in regards to like a new beginning. For you guys, I feel like you should absolutely persevere and not give up on your dream. For you guys, definitely needing to be strong, which we see that you will with the Nine of Wands. And try to stay positive. You know, you just could be dealing with some delays here. Judgment can represent second chances. So those of you that it is on the love front, you could be waiting to reconcile. Yeah, waiting to be able to get back together with someone or heal a relationship. We do have the Knight of Cups here at your foundation. So you could have extended this cup to someone prior. They could have extended this cup to you. For some of you, I feel like this is on the love front. Something could have been offered prior. With the Knight of Cups here. Now that could be from a Cancer or Scorpio, Pisces, but not necessarily. And then we do have the Nine of Cups here in the recent past. So something could have been offered to you prior. Something could have come in that was very positive, that made you very happy. Could have even have been like a wish come true for some of you. You know, this is some very positive energy. It's just here right at the start of June, or if you're watching this at the end of May. It's possible that maybe your heart is still healing. With Judgment and the Three of Swords here. We have the Three of Swords crowning you, along with that Nine of Wands. So some of you, you know, it's possible that this is, for a few of you, old energy that's lingering. Sometimes it takes a while for our heart to heal, or for some disappointment that maybe you encountered, for it to fade. So for me, the Three of Swords can be that heavy heart, that heartache, but it also can be that frustration or that disappointment with something. And so for some of you, this is still lingering. With Judgment here, this is, you know, some healing energy that's coming in for you at the start of the month. Others, you could be dealing with the three-party situation. Maybe you're waiting on someone to get a divorce, something like that, with this Nine of Wands, waiting to be able to move forward. Some of you waiting to reconcile. And some of you might have like multiple things that are going on in your life, or I'm reading for two entirely different groups of Cancers. We have the Ace of Wands coming up in the near future. So this is a blessing. This is an exciting new beginning. Ace of Wands. Could be a new adventure that you're going on. Those of you that were waiting to reconcile with someone, it could happen here at this time. The Ace of Wands is a very physical, passionate energy. So for some of you Cancers, it certainly could be a very passionate energy that you're experiencing here around the second week. For those Cancers that this is something new that you're manifesting, maybe you're waiting on news in regards to this, my advice would be to hang in there, but stay positive, have faith. I think that something already went in your favor prior. And so, yeah, just give it time. Because we have Judgment here, something will take a little while to play out. Nothing's going to happen overnight. So just know that some of you are dealing with a little bit of a slower energy. But we do have a new beginning coming in. And then in the position of your power, so this is around the third week, we have the Nine of Swords. And so those of you that are maybe reconnecting with someone around the second week, again, physical, passionate energy, I would think about this. I would think about this very carefully. This is why we have readings, so you can see what's coming up, and then you can actually avoid things. You can make changes. Nothing is set in stone. And here, this might be a three-party situation. And maybe some of you have an opportunity around the second week. But then I could be reading for some Cancers that you regret it. Or you regret not taking it. You know, it could go in either direction here. We're going to look at this closer. But when it comes to any decisions that you're making, I would really think carefully around this time. Because Nine of Swords can be you stressing, overthinking, fearing the worst, having regrets even. That's what I feel like it is for some of you. It also can represent a lack of sleep. So make sure you're taking care of you. Put your needs first. Put you first. There might be the need for some self-care here at this time. Absolutely. And then in the position of how others are viewing you, we have the Four of Cups. And so that's why I mentioned for some of you, you could be turning something down as well. It doesn't mean you're absolutely accepting. For some of you, you could be turning it down. Four of Cups, not happy with what you're being offered, wanting something more. That's what I feel like this is for some of you, wanting something more. But if you're turning something or turning someone down, try to stay positive and feel proud of yourself. Confident with your decisions that you're making. And then in the hopes and fears, I have death. So maybe some of you want something to be over with, or you want something to change greatly. Death represents endings and new beginnings, but then also great change, transformation. So some of you, this is what you want. You want something to change, I feel. You might want a relationship to change. Also, you might want something to end, so then something else can begin with death. And then this is interesting. Leaving June, going into July, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is the worst of something behind you here at this time. This is a cycle that's completing. And we have death. You have two nines. We have a 1. So for some of you, we have a 10, we have two nines, we have a 1. For some of you, this is a cycle that's completing. Oh, we actually have 3 nines with the overall energy. So this is a cycle that's completing. We already have the Ace here, Cancer. It just might take the whole month of June. For some of you, it's a process, like I mentioned with Judgment. When Judgment is at play, nothing is going to be fast-paced. Also, there might be some healing that needs to take place for some of you. But yeah, some of you, this is a cycle. You went through a difficult time, but it is coming to an end. We will clarify. So very interesting reading, Cancer. I definitely, for this month, every month really, but especially this month, I definitely suggest watching your other signs. Or if you need more clarity, I definitely suggest having a private reading. We see a cycle completing. First, I want to look at this Three of Swords, which is crowning you. Okay, well, there's the Eight of Rods that wants to come out. So we will take it. But looking at the Three of Swords for Cancer, this is, for some of you, I feel old energy. This is your heart healing at the start of the month. Yeah, very interesting. Now let's take a look at this Nine of Swords. And then we're also going to look at the Ten of Swords. Sometimes with the Ten of Swords, there can be something that happens that leads up to this. I'm trying to think of that old expression, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back, or whatever that old expression is, like something that happens that brings you to this point. But this is, no matter what, it's a tough time, a tough cycle completing. And this energy, the Nine of Wands, is going to be energy that helps you. You know, the Nine of Wands speaks about perseverance, not giving up, staying strong. All right, so looking at this Three of Swords, we have the Eight of Rods that wanted to come out. We have the Four of Cups and then the Emperor. So those of you that are like waiting on, it could be a three-party situation, or again, waiting to reconcile with someone, you know, this could be your heart feeling heavy, you're feeling alone, you might be the Emperor, you're waiting on the Emperor, you're waiting on this male character, waiting on communication. I feel like you will hear from this person. If you're waiting on communication, I feel like you will hear something. Some of you, it's almost like you're waiting to reconcile, or waiting for, maybe if it's a three-party situation, waiting for them to get a divorce or something like that. And then looking at this Nine of Swords, we have the King of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Devil. So the Devil can speak about a temptation. So here with this Ace of Wands, this certainly can be a temptation that's coming in around the second, third week for some of you. I would say with any decisions that you're making, weigh those options, weigh the pros and cons. For some of you, it could be reading for some Cancer males, excuse me, where you're weighing those choices, weighing those options. You, Cancer, if you're a Cancer male, you might be tempted. For some of you, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, maybe very emotional over a Capricorn. Maybe your heart is still healing. from something that happened with a Capricorn. Try to stay out of your head. Try to stay positive. At this time, some of you very much needing to take back your power, your control of your thoughts. This could be like an emotional roller coaster that you're on, feeling very emotional at this time. So emotional and mental energy. So very much needing to ground yourself. In particular, you Cancer males. So very interesting, very, very interesting, Cancer, this reading. And then looking at this Ten of Swords, we have the World, the Two of Rods, and then the Five of Cups. And so, yeah, I think that this has come full circle, to be honest. No matter how you resonate with this, something is coming full circle. It is a time to plan for the future. You see the World here twice, which is speaking about a world of possibilities in front of you. New beginnings, possibilities. But I think that this is you needing, for some of you, yes, this is you needing to put the past behind you. Five of Cups. For some of you, this is you focusing on the past too much, so needing to focus on the future, needing to plan for the future, because literally the possibilities are endless. You are about to move forward down a new path, and this is a tough time that's completing. But some of you, again, your heart is still healing. There's this emotional energy, this wound. Your heart is going to take some time to heal. So maybe someone cheated or something like that. Or maybe you're waiting on someone to make a choice. Maybe this person is married, something like that. But something is completing. Something is absolutely completing. So just know that. And you do have new possibilities coming in. Let's pull you some additional guidance cards. First, Cancer, focusing on career. All right, this card just wants to come out for you, so we're going to take it. And then now focusing on love life, but as always over on Vimeo, I do have the Love Tarot forecast over there for the month of June. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely check that out. The link is below. Okay, so focusing on June for Cancer. Cancer, focusing on love life for the month of June for Cancer. Okay. So I just want to show you guys this. For those of you that have new love in front of you, because we have possibilities, I just want to show you at the bottom of the deck we have Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I think that some of you on the love front, Cancer, you have new choices, new possibilities that are going to be in front of you here in June. And so I feel like, yes, some of you, your heart is still healing, and so take all the time in the world that you need to heal, but I think that some of you are being inspired to kind of leave the past in the past and to focus on the new possibilities for some of you. All right, so let's focus on health and well-being, Cancer, for June. What else does Cancer need to know? Focusing on health and well-being. Interesting. Okay, so focusing on career, we have light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love to this world. So, light and love. And so your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love to this world. So this card represents making a difference. You being you sharing that, shining that light. that you have within your heart, Cancer. So some of you might help others for a living, and I mean that could be with any field really. I mean, you might work within like the medical field. You could be like a spiritual advisor. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do, but some of you might help others for a living, and if that's the case, I think that that's something you're meant to be doing. Other Cancers, this could be something that you're moving towards. This could absolutely be something that you're moving towards, because maybe some of you went through some stuff in life. You might have gone through some experiences that can actually help others or inspire them in some way. And so maybe you need to share your experiences with others. And then focusing on love life, express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So we just had Flirt at the bottom of the deck, and now we have express your love. So I think that some of you are being encouraged to maybe pursue new people on the love front. But know that, yes, for some of you, there could be a temptation coming in. I don't feel like this is in regards to the temptation. So just be aware of that. If this is an ex, I don't feel like that's an option you should look at. Okay? But yes, I mean, I could be reading for some of you. That's exactly what you're doing, is you're looking at the ex as an option. But I feel like you should look at new possibilities, especially you Cancer males. And then looking at health and well-being, we do have consult a nutritionist. Dear Archangel Raphael, I turn my eating over to you and ask you to guide me to foods and beverages that taste good, are fulfilling, and support my ideal health and weight. So some of you could be looking at what you're putting into your body. Maybe making some changes to your diet. If this is something you've thought about doing, it certainly could be a good idea. Maybe you've even been dealing with, certain things, allergies as an example. You might have been dealing with certain things and you didn't know what the cause was. It could stem from what you're putting into your body. So what you're eating, what you're drinking. So June might be a good time to look at that. All right, Cancer. So I hope that you found this reading helpful. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. If you are interested in having a private reading, please check out northeasttarot.com. Have a great month.